So, final section, we've talked about learning, where to get some extra tutorials or extra learning resources. We've talked about some socialization strategy, how to go through the social media world and not get eaten up by it, how to socialize, how to show your work, how to join communities and who you should socialize with in communities and how to socialize with those people in the communities. The final chapter, we are going to talk about commercialize. And this is the point where I talk about how can you actually make money, tangible money from your 3D projects or from your 3D business. So first of all, I have to say that as a beginner, you have two major hurdles against you when you are trying to start making money in this field. And those two are: one, you have no past projects, so you have no evidence of competence. There's no evidence that this person is actually good. And two, you have no trust because you have not worked with anybody before. So how are they sure that you can deliver? So when the client is looking at you, they're asking two questions. Is this person good? And two, can this person actually complete this job? Does this person have the experience to complete this job? Any client or any employer is asking you this question. And if you are in this point, you kind of have a disadvantage. However, as a beginner, you have one advantage, which is enthusiasm and wonder. See, at this stage, the stage you're in right now, you are more excited about your projects than even a professional. Most professionals are no longer excited about the project. In what we in Nigeria we call see finish. They don't see our project finish. So as a result of that, they are sort of over familiar with the field, so they don't get the excitement or the joy, the wonder of the field. You as a beginner, you are closer to the client's field of view than a professional is. A professional is like in a completely different world. So you kind of have that enthusiasm and wonder, and just attitude alone can really can really push you over the edge than a professional will. So as a beginner, one thing that I would advise is one, say yes a lot. Now, there is a hypothesis or there is a growing movement that says say no a lot or be saying no to projects, and it is true. However, if we look at a graph of experience, those on the lower experience and those on lower experience on one side and those on the higher experience on the other side, those with higher experience have to say no. So for sure, once you are a professional, like on a higher level, and you are getting a lot of jobs, you can't say yes to everything, because if you say yes to everything, you'll be overwhelmed and you won't even be able to deliver. So you have to cut down the number of jobs that you do. And this is a process that will come naturally to you. Now, I myself, I was somebody that I was thinking there was a period of time where I was trying to force the no. And when I forced no's, I went hungry. So I had to start saying yes again just so that I can get myself back into eating food for my monies from my projects. So you will need to say yes to a lot of things if you are just starting out. However, you need to say yes consciously, and I'll come to that. Okay. But as you keep growing older, as you keep growing more in the field and you start getting more jobs, one, there are two things that happen. One, you start getting high demand, and two, you start knowing what you are good at. As a beginner, you are not really sure what you are good at or what kind of jobs you enjoy. So what I am now, I know that I prefer short form projects than long form projects. And as a result of that, just knowing that alone means that I can say no to very long form projects. Why? Because I already know what I am best at and I know where I perform well at. As a beginner, you don't really know what you perform best at yet until you try it. So at this point, please say no, say yes a lot. Any opportunity that comes around, you want to make the best out of it. And this is where we come to the topic of free work. Okay, so there is a bad rep about free work. I will talk about some of the ways to do it properly. And but free work can be an advantage if you do it well, but free work can be bad if the expectations of that work are not clear. And this is why we say that all those people that come to meet you, that they don't have anything, and you don't have anything, you are both hungry, and then they are coming to say, let's partner together and end big. My dear, it depends on you in the end. I think it depends on you. And I would say that as human beings, we have very good bullshit detectors. So there is a high chance that you would know that this thing is not right. And the moment you get that feeling that this thing is not right or this person is bullshitting, please run. please run. Anybody that is saying partner together and go big and they are trying to use the feeling of greed against you, please make sure you abstain from those projects. But in general, the basic thing about free work is that don't do it anyhow. Don't do it expecting big payouts. Be intentional with free work. How can you be intentional with the kind of works you do as a beginner? Now, this is where I come to the point of create a win-win mindset. What do I mean by a win-win mindset? If they pay you, you are winning. If they don't pay you, you are also winning. This is, it seems crazy, but there is a logic behind it. So if they pay you, yes, you win, you get money from your job. And if they don't pay you at the end of the project, you win because now you have a new project that you can add to your portfolio. Because again, like I told you, there are two problems in getting jobs as a beginner, which are you don't have a list of projects, you don't have a past list of projects, and you don't have trust. If you they don't pay you, so if you are not getting paid, at least you are having a job to put in your past projects as your and increase your portfolio. And I will tell you this as a beginner because sometimes you might have a certain client that kind of moves in a very funny way. And we have all experienced those clients. And I will tell you this, unless you sign the contracts unless you have signed a contract with that client, if they have not paid you, they have no right to tell you not to post it. I can tell you that for sure. If that client did not pay you, like after a certain duration, they don't pay, they don't reply your message, they don't do anything, just dump you, just most times they just ghost you completely. My brother in Christ, you can post that project, post it as part of your portfolio because and this is why I would say that, see, if you are doing free work and they ask you to sign an NDA, because if you notice these people that are doing all this less partner and end big of that, they will ask you to do free work and then you will sign an NDA. Please see, this one, you don't even need to feel your intuition. Brother in Christ, run from that very quickly because I think this was one of the issues during the NFT craze. So basic points is that be intentional with your free work. Make sure that any work that you are going to do, you are always going to win at the end of it, regardless of the outcome. So, what are some of the actual practical strategies that you can utilize as a beginner to um, get into the trading industry or get your start in the trading industry? So, number one is gifts. You decide who you want to give gifts to. Be very intentional about it. It can be someone in the higher level than you, but make sure that this is somebody that can actually value the gift you are going to give them. It can be a marketing executive. I mean, the thing that got me into contact with a marketing executive, a very high level marketing executive, was through a work that I did for the person. So and I gave it to the person for free. It was actually to celebrate the person's birthday. So you can't do stuff for free. Just know that you are giving it as a gift. You are not giving it because you're expecting them to pay you. No, no, no. You are giving it as an actual gift to them. And the only way for them to pay you back, you tell them to refer you to somebody who they think would need it. And this is why I said be intentional about who you give. So whoever you're going to give a gift to, you should be giving the gift to people who you believe would have access or connections to other people who will actually need your job and be able to pay for your job. So make sure you are giving gifts to those sets of people. So if you can give gifts to those sets of people and you tell them that this is completely free, it's totally for you, I like so and so, whatever, and you say that please, if you just have anybody that might need this kind of work, just recommend me to that person or just link me up to that person. That is a very solid strategy of breaking into the 3D field and start getting paying clients. And another thing again is called code gifting. So what is code gifting? This is where this was an advice that I actually gave to logo designers back when I was still doing graphic design in the day. And what I would tell those that I would train was that if you are going to start out as doing a logo design and you don't really have a lot of businesses that are offering, you don't really have a lot of clients, right? You don't have a lot of clients. So what I would tell them to do is that go to 50 businesses and go to their Instagram, especially those who are going through social media. Go to their Instagram, look for 50 businesses that have very horrible logos and make sure that these are businesses that you can find something that's interesting about them, and then you create a good logo for them, and then you DM them, you send them a DM and say, hi, I'm a new business, I'm trying to reach more customers, and I really love so and so thing about your brand. And then you write the things that you love about their brand, and you say, so I made this logo completely free for you, and then you put the logo like at the bottom and all that, or the link to the logo files around that. And you said they'll say that, and then you tell them that if you love it, please don't hesitate to link me up with people who you think might need my services, and then just send that to them. But however, one thing I always tell them is that try to make sure that these are people that can reply messages and not people that their pages are being, because if you send these messages to very big brands or very big companies, it's going to be kicked into the bin because the company is not being managed by the owner. So you have to try to just try and eyeball it and find out that this is a company that is actually owned by the owner. So you send that to them, and by the time you do that to like, by the time you are doing that on your list of 50, out of that 50, at least 20 out of them, 10, 20 out of them, they are going to DM you. And some of them might even decide to pay you. There are some of them that will say, no, 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 I have to pay you for your work. They might pay you. There are some of them that they would link you up to somebody immediately. There are some of them that they'll just post a free publicity for you on their page and bring in customers. This is a way of cold gifting to clients. So in the 3D space or in the 3D field, you can do something close to that. If you see a business or businesses that might be in need of this, and you want to like, and you see this person as this is a business that has access to other businesses that might need my services, go ahead and send them a cold gift. So type, do something, create a 3D something, a cool 3D something for them, and then DM them and say, hi, I love so and so, something specific about their brands. Just make sure that you put I love so and so about your brand, make sure it's something specific. And you say that, so I made this completely free for you. If you love it, please make sure, please don't hesitate to link me up with somebody that you think might need the services, or recommend me to any entrepreneur, anybody that you think might be in need of this service. Send that to them, and I assure you, somebody, one of them, they are going to give you referrals, or they might say, oh, contact this person, or don't worry, I have so and so person, or they will ask you, can you also do this? Who knows? So these are just ways of tipping the wheels of fate towards your favor. So, number one strategy of breaking into the industry is gift. Number two strategy of breaking into the industry is pay on delivery. This gets a very bad rep, but if you are just starting out, one of your issues, again, like I said, is trust. So, somebody has to extend trust, somebody has to take the legs, nobody has to like build that bridge of trust between you and the client. And if you're starting out, you don't have any work in your belts, in your portfolio, most times you don't really have bargaining chips. Okay, so when you are just starting out, you might need to do paid delivery. It's a good strategy. However, as you progress, as you become better in your field, as you become more experienced and you have more works behind your belt and more clients, pay on delivery is a no-no. You do not do that anymore. In fact, there's a certain point you get to, you must pay in full at a certain point if you can, or at least 70%. So pay on delivery is a no-no at a certain point. But as you are just starting as a beginner, pay on delivery is important. So you tell them, you decide to do it first, and you tell them that, sir, I'm going to go ahead. So what you tell them is that, hi, I'm going to extend a bridge of trust because I understand that trust is the main factor here. So I'm going to extend that bridge of trust, and I'm going to do this work first. And then if you like the work, you can pay. So it has zero risk to you. So once you make those kind of daring risks, especially if you do it intentionally with the right clients, make sure that you're not just doing it for somebody who is trying to play you. But then again, we can't all be winners. Some of them might actually play you indeed, but um you want to share this, you want to use it as a way of doing the work first and then submitting to the clients. And then when the client sees it and they love it, they could pay. And even if they don't pay, once again, you are adding new projects to your backlog or your portfolio. So if they don't pay, beautiful. Put it on your portfolio, post it on Instagram that, hey, latest work that I just did. Brother in Christ, nobody cares. So pay on delivery is another strategy. Another way of breaking into the industry is through pitching. through pitching. So those of you who use freelance sites like Freelancer, Upwork, Fiverr, you might be familiar that with pitching in the sense that a client might post a job offer on the platform or the page, whatever. The client might post a job opportunity and they need an expert or an artist to do that job for them. So most times, most of these clients would put the information of the job that this is exactly what I want, and then they will tell you to those who are interested should submit their portfolio. If you're a beginner, do not submit portfolio. You because technically you don't even have a portfolio. So what you want to do? Go there and say, sir, one trial will convince you. You can't do that. So what you would do instead is if they've posted information of the job that they want to do, and most times some of the best jobs are in these freelancing sites are the ones where the client has put attached a document of what they want to do. So once they post that, you as a beginner, you cannot go and send them your CV alone. You will go ahead, take look at that job and say, okay, what is a small part I can do for that job? And then you do that small part first. And then when you are doing your pitch, you pitch them with the part of the work that you have already done, just to show them that you mean business. So that attitude of I'm really serious about this and I'm here to really deliver on your project is gonna move mountains for you and like really bring you out in the midst of other professionals, even take out jobs that professionals are there. You will take jobs from them with that kind of attitude. So this particular strategy, the reason I can successfully champion this strategy is because this is the strategy that got me my first international job. We had a pitch like this that appeared on the site, and when I saw the pitch, I didn't just send my portfolio of my works to them, even though at that point I had accumulated a good amount of portfolios, but I hadn't got into international waters yet. So what I did was that I took that the brief of the job, and I made a complete storyboard out of that brief. And when I made the storyboard, I don't think we had time to complete it because I was supposed to finally get back to the client the next day. So I didn't have the time to complete the portfolio, to complete the storyboard. But the half I was able to do, I took that and I sent to the client. And by the time I sent to them, and they were like, wow, nobody has done this before because nobody really has time. I will tell you this, as a professional, as a beginner, you have something professionals don't have, which is time. So a professional will not have time to start doing all those storyboards and all that. But you as a beginner, you have the time because you have nothing to lose. So you send that to the client. And once you send that to the client, they are going to be, oh my God, this is most likely there is a very high chance that you'll get that job, especially if the first part that you've done is done well. In fact, even if it's not very well done, just them seeing you being serious in a low trust environment is enough to tip the skills in your favor. So that is one way. And also, if it doesn't work, if it doesn't pan out, once again, you have another list of jobs to put in your backlog of your portfolio. However, this pitching is highly dependent on the client posting the project information. So if the client does not post the project information, personally, I would say don't. I would personally not apply. That is just my decision to not apply on those jobs because it's very hard because in that point your chances are reduced to luck, and it might be tough for you to waste your because this freelancer might operate on a credit system, so it might be tough to waste your credits on such a job. But at this point, you might decide to pitch. Go ahead, it's fine, but just know that at this point, it's mostly a luck game, and as a beginner, you might not really be the best at getting the luck game. So you want to make sure you are tipping the skills in your favor in any opportunity that you have. Then another way again of getting breaking into the industry and getting some money from your 3D job, from your 3D practice is through small scale competitions and challenges. Occasionally on Instagram, you might see certain posts or certain platforms make posts about we want to do a fan art contest and all of this. And you as a 3D artist, you might be able to join those small competitions. Now I say small competitions because the big ones will be very stiff. So if you're looking at challenges like the challenges by the Punisher and all those Huon and Art Station challenges, those are big and those are very big challenges. So the people that are competing there are the professionals, like really, really 10 years experience are competing in those fields. So in such a field, if you are competing, you might, even if you decide to compete, you might decide to, you will be rewarded, or it will be smarter for you to compete on your creative presentation than on your technical skill, because you do not have technical skills to match up to those guys. So maybe you might win by being creative, but there is a high chance you won't. So make sure you stick to this. So you are better, you have better luck sticking with the smaller challenges and the smaller competitions. So just look at those who are within your level or below your level. And also, you want to ensure that it's merit based than just followers based, because if it's followers based, unless you are very social, like I said, or you have a lot of friends or followers, it will most likely be based on luck. Hopefully, you probably hope that democracy will be sane and people will choose based on the finest work rather than the most popular person. But in most cases, it's not the case. The finest work does not always win. Instead, it's the most popular person that wins. So ensure that it's a merit-based competition. And if it's not, so long as you do the work, just make sure that it's something that you want to work on and you're interested in working on, and you would work on for free if they didn't give you. So that way it's also a win-win. So if it doesn't pan out, you have something else to put on your portfolio. Hallelujah. Another way again to break into making money from the 3D field is through teaching. And some people are like, what do I have to teach? I'm a beginner. And in a way, you are correct. You might not have much to teach at this point, but like I said, you are a magician at this point. You are doing magic with what you have. And I believe that there is always some people in the world who can only learn from you and the way you personally teach. So you don't have to appeal to everybody, but there might be some people that they might not understand Blender Guru or Andrew Price, but they will understand it when you yourself talks to them. So if you have the opportunity to teach, some of these are very local opportunities, like maybe a neighbor or a friend says, "Hi, I want you to help me teach my kids this 3D that you are doing. I like it," or teach my son, or teach my whatever, whatever. You can start from there. Even if you are just charging low, you can start from there. And then you can also get your advantage. Another way to also break into the industry is through internships and junior roles in companies as a beginner. Unfortunately, in current markets, especially when it comes to international jobs, junior roles are very tough to get into, and internships are also very tough to get into. But feel free to apply. I mean, most of these jobs are zero, don't really take much from you to apply. So you just apply, make sure that your CV is sort of exceptional. What you miss in list of in backlog of jobs, you can make up for it by creating a very fancy, or just being creative in your CV, or in your just be creative in your CV in general, basically. And then one more strategy again for those who are trying to make money out of their 3D knowledge, specifically for those if you already have a business, is by something called bundling. Now, this will apply for you if you have a business that is sort of connected to the creative field. So, for example, I used to be a graphic designer back in the day. So, if you yourself, you were doing graphic design back then, and now you just learned 3D, this 3D, and you want to go into the 3D field, you can bundle 3D as an offering of your graphic design, maybe as a higher paying product service, or a more expensive tier of your products or services. And then, just as a way to get publicity and start just getting the ball rolling, that this is a service that you offer, you can decide to reward your most loyal customers, your most loyal current customers, with a free or a discounted offering of your new 3D services. So you can have a client, there's always that client that has been treating us well, maybe in your design, and you can be like, okay, you know what, let me create a free um 3D something for this person. I just say, hi, this is a new service that I'm offering, and I'm just rewarding you for being, I just want to appreciate you for being a good client. However, this is a new 3D soft service that I'm offering. So then you send them that, and that is a way of getting the ball rolling, and just breaking into the 3D field through your own personal job that you're already doing. So, before we leave, I'll just talk very briefly on pricing for beginners. And I would say this, that as a beginner, you might not be able to charge high at first, at the start. Now, there's a reason I'm using the word might and not will, because some people are in a more fortunate position than others. So, if you are in a position whereby you are within a space where 3D field, where 3D is highly valued, you most likely will be able to charge high than if you're in a place where 3D field is not highly valued. So if you're in a place where 3D field is not highly valued and you don't have access to people who value it, you might not be able to charge very high at the moment. So what you can do, however, is that when you are putting your invoice, just to kind of like get your pricing a bit, just to get your pricing right, when you're putting your invoice, make sure you have an invoice too. If you are creating, if you are working with clients, you put the actual the desired price that you want to charge on a perfect day. So you put that desired price. So if you're in Nigerian and it's like 50,000 naira, you can put 50,000 naira as your desired price. So you know, with 100,000 naira, 100,000 naira as your desired price, then underneath that desired price, you are going to put discounts, or maybe you can put something like a starter discount or a loyal customer discount, like for the people that will be doing it through bundling, or special discount, whatever discount you want to put, just give it whatever name you want to put, but just put discount, and then you slash the desired price that you want, and then put the current low price that you are offering because of market conditions. We understand. So you are offering them a low price, but on their invoice, it will read that, oh, actually, this service is valued at this amount, but you are offering it at this low price. So make sure you do that. So doing that will just help to position you better, that, oh, you are giving them at a low price, but this is a service that is highly valued. So this is just a way of you breaking into the industry. So, guys, that is a very, very long explanation. I wanted to be as thorough as possible on many of the possible pitfalls and issues that I personally had when I was trying to get into the 3D field, and that you as a creator, or as you as a new 3D artist who is just new in the field, might also have, and offer some of the solutions that I found has worked for me, and I hope would also work for you as well. So if you've stuck this far, I want to say thank you so much for listening to me, for choosing me to be your guide into this 3D world. I am grateful and I'm honored that you would choose me. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comment section as well. I will do my best to answer as many as I can. If this has helped you, feel free to let me know. You can also tag me on social media, Instagram at Treasure Impact. Feel free to tag me over there, and can let me know your thoughts as well. And keep practicing, keep growing, and apply the skills, and your desired future is actually possible. So nothing is impossible if you just put the right strategy and the right attitude towards it. So I hope to see you at the top, and cheers. Have a wonderful day.